Life of a barber only gets harder when you keep busting your lip from constant slips, chasing chips. You watch time fly, watch your life fall from that sky. You gotta look your daughter in her eye. All you can say is, I try. Don't worry, boo. I'ma do what I gotta do. This life right here definitely ain't meant for you.
Sean is one of the hardest working barbers I've ever met in my life. He will fill your shop up. He won't go home until they stop coming. As an owner, it's my duty to pass on information. But it's hard to pass on information to a guy like Sean. You can pass it on, but it's up to him to accept it. But this is a guy that's probably been doing things on his own and only dependent on himself for his entire life. But still, I feel like I gotta try. And I'm often left wondering, did I get through to him? And why can't I?
And why this pain's been stuck with me since my first day of birth. See, was I born to be a Dr. Wolf's ghetto child? Or will I save a life or lose my life up in this trial? See, people talk to me every day before I sleep, telling me the things are fine in my soul to keep. But now I'm living in this living hell. I'm trying to choose the right gas, but my wrong act still prevail. So now I'm stuck upon these crossroads. I'm trying to choose the right path so the demon won't snatch my soul. But the path of truth turned out to be that wrong one. Waking up, long streets with a long gun. I pray to God, hoping every day he bless my soul. But when I'm coming, just like a nigga getting old. Gray hairs to bear, long strap, gun and arms. All I do is talking with shit. I got a warrior's palm. Man, I'm blowing that. Swerving, homie. Sip the Henny, getting on my nervous plenty. Time is all sick, man. Rhyme is all. Sometimes I feel like I just wanna. Man,
what else?
Time to knock it off.
The life of a barber. The life of a barber is hard. It ain't as easy as what people think. People think it's we come in here and it's like we just hustling. It's hard on so many different levels. Now, if you got a family, it's hard on that level too. But just to be a barber, you gotta be strict on yourself. You really have to know how to manage time, money, clients. It ain't that easy. It ain't that easy, especially when it's come down to managing your finances. Because as a barber, you can eat. Being a barber, you can pay for a whole lot of shit and you can live real good. But if you ain't managing your bread or you ain't what you gotta do, put in the footwork or whatever to keep your clientele, you can get put in a serious situation. Like when I went to Market Street. Now I got a nice size book clientele. But when I went to Market Street, man, that was the worst that has ever happened to me being a barber. I'm a barber that's been cutting for over 19 years at this time, over 19 years, and couldn't make over $100 a week. Coming from me making about $1,500, I couldn't make $100 a week. But what messed me up was the fact that I was making $1,500 a week previously. I had nothing to fall back on when I got put in that position to go make $100 a week. You feel what I'm saying?
Breathe it on you. Oh, he's on the Egypt boy. Oh.
Don't it done died on you. That's crazy, man. Oh. Population. I can deal with that situation. I don't care about my reputation. Give me a freaky connection. There's a population. I can deal with that situation. I don't care about my reputation. We was in a car accident. My great aunt that was taking care of me was my great aunt, my brother, my oldest brother Ellery, me, my sister Ashley, my twin, my brother John, my little brother Malik, no, my little brother Kareem, my cousin Malik, and my other cousin Michael. Two of them died. My aunt and my cousin Michael died in that car accident. But after she passed away, you know, I was still living down there with my great uncle, and I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. It's just we just didn't get along after that, and he did nothing to me. It's just that we never really got along. So I got sent back up to New Jersey in 1990, and been in Camden ever since. But when I came up to Jersey, I thought I was going to, you know, I had brothers and sisters. Never really knew how they was living up here in Jersey because I was separated from them down south. They, you know, they would come down. They lived down there with me a little bit, but you know, everything was from what I can remember. Everything was just one come down, another one leave. One come down, another one leave. It was just like a door, like, and we grew up in a trailer home. But when I first got to Camden, I'm just like, well, now I'm gonna be up here living with my brothers and sisters, and I get to see my family I ain't seen, because I only get to see them during summer times if I come up or whatever. Man, I got dropped off at a foster home. Can you imagine being 12 years old, telling you, being told this is where you're gonna be staying at, and you don't know a fucking soul in this house? So I ain't unpacked my clothes. I think it was like 3 weeks. I was still living out of my suitcase. Didn't know what to do. And my Uncle Sonny, man. Somebody told my Uncle Sonny where I was at, and my Uncle Sonny came and got me. Like, I was just given to the system. My Uncle Sonny came and got me. I lived with him for a while, and I don't know. It's just when I look back on certain things, bro, I hated people. I hated them. To this day, I still do. And that's a problem that I had, because it was nobody right to take me in. There was nobody responsibility to raise me. It was nobody. No, I mean, they didn't have to, you know, I looked at my family as if, you know, they wanted the biggest families in Camden, New Jersey. And I'm uncles and aunts, and you know, we got mayors, we had doctors, and but I'm living in a foster home. And I'm 41 years old right now, and that shit still hurt me to this day, because I still hold that, and it's wrong that I hold that, but it still hurts me to this day for the simple fact of the couple of things that I've been through in life. You know, even, you know, when you in 9th grade and you in high school and you ain't really got nothing to nobody, but you still want to be somebody. that shit hurts because now you don't want to become a product of your environment. But I wanted to, like, my grades, man, my grades was crazy. Highly intelligent, love to read, still do. Love to learn anything I can learn. But when I was in school or whatever, man, it was like, I know I'm smarter than you, I know I'm gonna do this, but just for the simple fact that I didn't look like the rest of them, I didn't dress like the rest of them, still got no attention. What I mean by attention is no matter what happened, or no matter what happened during that time, I always looked at it as if it just ain't for me. And what I mean by saying it just ain't for me, I was talking about life at one time. You should, you try to judge your life off of everybody else's life. You try to you see what other people are doing, and you see how other people are acting, and you yourself are the hardest person on yourself. But why can't I be like that? But why can I have that? And then when you can start getting to a bigger question and stop asking why, till you say, well, I'm gonna go get it. And it's kind of sad because that's how I see a lot of people right now, like a couple of the youth that I talk to. It's just the part about being lost.
So you relate to that?
Yeah. It's a part about being lost. I can relate to a lot of the kids' situation because at one point in time I was lost. And I'm not saying that I totally found my way. I'm 41 and in school again. But what I mean by being lost, not that you can't find your way nowhere, it's just you yourself personally trying to find your way. You yourself personally wanting to be accepted. But to find somebody to accept you for who you are, you got to deal with somebody who's just like you. And
stop now.
You can edit footage. Yeah, that thing looking like we really, you know what I mean?
Make sure I ain't in y'all way.
You ain't in the way. Yeah. It's your boy Schmitty. I'm at my little cool going on now.
Like this one.
Big five?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's different, I stay different. Sometimes it feels like God, especially when you get I usually church for the day. Sometimes it hurts different, but I really hate sitting but still, Lord, we get it. I gotta walk up in the streets and my gun stay heavy. Full clip loaded, 30 in the whole clip. And that's the game. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. Before you hold up now, get down now. Better tell you got more rounds, won't say shit. I don't care about your bones, I got niggas.
Yeah. Yeah. The camera's on. I might check 1 2 1 2. I might check 1 2 1 2. I said the camera's on. I might check 1 2 1 2. I might check a 1 2 1 2. The camera's on. I'm looking at it. I check a 1 2 1 2. Sometimes I ride slow, sometimes I ride quick. Yeah. Sometimes this dude's crazy. Yo.
I thought he was about to go. Okay. Yeah.
I get him ready. Yeah, I gotta get him ready. I'm back. Yeah. I'm back. I gotta get y'all ready. Check it.
1, 2. Growing up, couldn't afford a car that I couldn't afford. A Honda Accord. Had a 4-door seated, my Honda Accord. Had gas hair bleeding on my Honda Accord. Had momos on my Honda Accord. A car I can afford, my Honda Accord. Check it out. And my Honda Accord had 2 passengers in my Honda Accord. Sitting back with the bass in my Honda Accord. A car that I could afford, my Honda Accord. I was riding 95 in my Honda Accord. Smoking live in my Honda Accord.
No reverse in my old Honda Accord. No front windshield in my Honda Accord. I got a car that I really couldn't afford, but that's why I copped me a Honda Accord. 2-seater and a white beater.
Yes.
Playing Jay-Z on 1 speaker.
In my Honda Accord, yeah. In my Honda Accord, yeah. Had the laptop in my Honda Accord. Had the baby seat in my Honda Accord. In the Honda Accord, had no gas in my Honda Accord. Went to the Wawa, got $2 on my Honda Accord and gas. Everybody been, woo, the camera's on me, I don't know how to act, yeah, how I look, yeah, check it,
Smoking liquor, smoking faces. Do sit back and just go through things. That's life. You get it there wrong, you get it right. You gotta do this wrong, it's all night. Waking up in the dark room, like sun, sitting like in the dark room. Cloud lifting the rain falls all in your head. But sometimes you wish you walked in. Still real. The pain's in the head. Stick is everything. Like stick it. Sometimes
a whole song by the Honda Accord though. Oh yeah, that's my throwback. You switch the beat, you gotta be like Sway in the morning, like you switching the beat. You know, they kept jumping on it.
Fast play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery are an entirely new way to play.
You're doing this in Avon
But if you play
Bueller's.
faster, then you can eat that bag of chips.
Yeah, you was at Avon Bueller's, why you?
Was I at Avon Bueller?
Yeah, you started the joint, right?
Oh,
yeah.
That's
Yeah, you left real early though, like in the game. You started off and then took a departure.
Yeah, because see what happens is when it started getting known,
Yeah.
people want to take credit for this, want to take credit for that, and they bring that bad element stuff messing with my clientele. I had to go.
Oh yeah, Avon Bueller's. Nice though.
I didn't own that shop. I was just running it.
Oh yeah, with J and I'm right. J thing.
Yeah.
You ain't got no lyrics. You got lyrics, it's just whatever come in your head. You said I woke up and then do my homework, wasn't allowed out, got on punishment, then I got my homework. Check. That's freestyle. You gotta say what happens in real life. That's what you tell you. Check. Got the bass going. Woo.
I like that Honda Accord joint though, man. You know when you do that.
Time beat this is, yo, I'm over early morning, take a walk out the crib with the shooting store just to get a little sick. Best thing happened, I pull up on the block, same thing on the body, same two cops. He said, get on your floor, but raise your hand. I can fuck that good, I got a soda with my hand. The white shit is going around the corner. And he came up by the car, shit, that's that, it's gone.
Mine goes blank.
So man, dude, yo, cut. I'll be right in your face with that camera.
Mine goes blank. Had to think. I don't know. Went to the liquor store, got me a drink. Wasn't liquor though. It was water on the rocks. I was so drunk I had to jump in out the socks. That's how I do it when I'm coming through. Living off experience. I'm speaking that real shit, but niggas ain't trying to hear it. Check these spirits like it was holy. Your niggas don't know. They say, oh, holy moly. Oh, go get me a strong bowly. Oh, and then I can do the roly-poly. Y'all don't know that that's a new dance. It ain't the break dance, but I'm pop locking. Get up, woo, I guess. I hit it deep and skip it deep. I keep it going cause this is strictly hip hop. I'm not gonna stop rocking and stopping the playing rock. Y'all in the blocks and y'all selling rocks, but I'm shooting basketball. So I got the wicked jump shot like Biggie said, and it's only 2 seconds on the clock. So I'ma hit the buzzer beater cause I'm a winner, and y'all know that I'm gonna eat peanut butter and jelly vanilla. Cause EBT don't come but once a month. And then I'm gonna keep it moving like a yes sir, hip hop, don't stop, let's keep it bop, but hip hop, hip hop, and this is playing the rock and hip hop. All in the barber shop and we don't stop. Yes, let's get it, the bop, bop, the boo bop, the bop, the boo, the boo, the boo, the boo, the boo, gonna stimulate me pop that beat.
Yeah, you gotta keep that thing running. That's that hip hop.
We gonna get that beat up
They
out
on the
of here.
phone, they talk about, they wanna come through because it's rocking up there.
To this day, I've never found a person that can like understand me. You know, how many friends have I been through? Lost, you know. People will come around me, oh man, he cool, this and that, and you know, once they get to know me or whatever, they don't know how. But like this, with the way I was brought up, and most of the time it was me bringing myself up, I may look at a certain situation and take that take that situation totally different than the next person. I may take a situation that was so light and very minute, and just for the simple fact that you did it to me, that I take it to the next level. Not saying nothing drastic or, but just because of the fact that you did it to me. And that goes back to me being younger, man. Don't do nothing to me that I won't do to you. I have a thing about, I don't know. I've just been on my own for so much. I have a thing about this, don't play me. You know that saying, don't play me. So when certain things happen, I take it as either you think I'm a clown boy or something, or you know, I just take things totally different to the point where I've lost friends. I've lost great females. I mean, good girls, because I take things different, and it's because of the way I am.
How would you say people have described you? Sensitive or?
People have described me as being sensitive, a cannon, and whatever that mean, because of my temper. But more of anything, they describe me as being sensitive and angry. To some people, I'm always angry, and I don't get mad when people say, "Yo, you just an angry dude." I don't get mad at that. I am, and it's something I'm still working on to this day because I have not yet found peace. To find peace, you got to find it within yourself, and
you haven't been able to do that yet.
I have not been able to find peace within myself because me personally, I'm not where I want to be. When I look in the mirror, I'm not comfortable with who I see yet. I mean, I love who I see when I look in the mirror. I love that reflection, but am I comfortable with that person? No, I'm not. I'm not comfortable with who I am as of right now because I know there is so much more out there that I need to be achieving. There's so much more out there that I need to know. There's so much more out there that I have to do to better myself and my daughter's situation. So, am I comfortable with who I am right now? No.
Man, to hear you say that, to hear you say you're not comfortable with who you are now, I'm not. I mean, I gotta come in here and say something about it, because I can't, on one hand, minimize your feelings about that. But on the other hand, I can't let you think, even if you do think, that you're the only person that ever felt like that. I directly relate to that. You know, for my own reasons, different reasons. But I can look at you from the outside. And what you said, I see that. You're so much harder on yourself. And I've said that, thought about that A lot. I used to be like, wow, when I watched, since you've been here too, down at above and beyond a little bit, we were in 2 different rooms. So we weren't like working together all the time like I see you now. So I look at some of the things that, you know, you might have said and some of the things you have that might have, you know, taken place and some of the things you might have even told me about. And one of the things I used to wonder is, why is this dude so hard on himself? I used to wonder that.
I have to be.
You have to be. I think what you should be. Definitely, we all should hold ourselves accountable and push ourselves. But we also have to, from time to time, give ourselves some credit.
You know, I give myself some credit. The credit I give myself is very minimal. Only reason why I say I give myself a minimum amount of credit is because me, myself, am the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through after 25 years. 45, I'm 41. But after you 25 years old, you start seeing something different. You started going through something different. Even the older men around you, the older women around you, those friends around you are telling you something different. But it's still the same thing that you was learning when you was younger. You understand what I'm saying? It's about life, period.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to being at that age, and you start neglecting everything they say.
When you're younger.
Even when you're younger, till you're 25, but you still think because, oh, I can do this, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. That's why I'm hard on myself, because at a certain point in time, there was a door open. Another point in time, there was another door open. Another point in time, there was another door open. I choose not to walk through those doors and put myself in the situations that I'm in right now.
And see, and that's exactly why I say you're harder on yourself than you should be. Because you can look at almost, you probably can go around this barbershop and ask everybody that same question. And everybody's story will be the same. There were so many doors I could have went through. And I chose not to take them. You understand what I'm saying? So you accept that about yourself.
Yeah.
But you move forward and you don't keep punishing yourself.
No, you don't keep punishing yourself for that. But you don't punish yourself. You use it.
Yeah, you gotta use it.
You use it. That should be your driving point. Because if you know what you messed up on the last time, you know what you messed up on the first time, second time, third time, you ain't gonna get so many chances. So that should be your driving point. To not let another door open up and you don't take that chance, at least put a step into it.
But you gotta also be careful, because you can find yourself so busy trying to make up for those opportunities that you missed that you don't even see the opportunities that's right there in your hand. So you gotta be careful with that. You really do. And I say that from experience, and I'll get more into that when I'm, actually talking about myself, but I want to talk to you. But that's another thing it's got to be a balance. And that's part of the reason why I say don't beat yourself up about it, but I more so should be saying don't dwell on it. Take the lesson learned out of it, tuck it, use it, but don't let it impede you, because if you go too far with it, it will impede you. You'll stress yourself out to the point. See, you 41, I'm 53. So a lot of the stuff that you're going through and some of the feelings that you're going through now, I felt. And you correct me if I'm wrong. You look at your age and you look at where you at life and you got a sense of urgency.
Yep.
I've been there.
Because you know what it is? When you see, it's the same when I was in school, this kid got candy, man. And I wanted some of that candy, but I can't celebrate this. So I gotta wait till the store have a sale, and I know I can get some of that candy then.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing like right now when I'm just like, I love to see my younger clients. I love to see them come in here happy. Like my clients, man. I just bought my first house, bro. Congratulations, 30 years old.
And that bothers you.
That bothered me. It didn't bother me.
It wasn't envious or jealous for him.
Jealous,
but it bothered you when you start taking a look at yourself.
What the fuck are you doing, dog?
Yo, and this is why I'm telling you that is not an uncommon experience. Man, do you know how many times I've had that thought? It's been times where, and this ain't no joke, it's been times where I've laid in my bed and I could not go to sleep because I'm thinking and I'm looking and I'm like, God, I gotta hurry up. I'm about to mess up. I had to slow myself. Because I started making drastic moves. Because you start trying so hard, you start trying anything. You start trying everything. Everything sounds better than what you're doing.
Because it sounds like it's a plus.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a plus. And that optimism that you get for those other things is overwhelming sometimes. So you find yourself rushing over there to do this, and then you're rushing over here to do this. And before you know it, you neglected the things that have been steady for you in your life. These things that have been steady for you in your life may have been things that you haven't utilized to the utmost. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that brings me to Barber. In my life, I've been through a lot. In your life, you've been through a lot. Girls, friends, jobs, situations. But the one thing me and you both got in common is we would not have been able to survive that if it weren't for these hands and this trade, barber. That's been the most steady thing in my entire life. Really, I've been divorced and all that. That's been the most steady thing. So what that made me do is to focus on this trade. There's a lot. It slowed me down from all that scatterbrained, haywire, recklessness, fear. Because I was going to bed fearful. I am running out of time. I felt like I was staring at an hourglass. I was measuring everything in football terms. It's the fourth quarter.
I was just talking the other day, man. Who was I talking to?
Oh, man.
I think I was talking to Jeff.
Yeah.
I said, he was like, he was talking about the carpentry joint and all that. And I'm telling him, man, listen, I'm in the third quarter. And it's only 2 minutes left. And I'm in the third quarter. My daughter, she's still in the first quarter, the first 5 minutes of the quarter. So you see that gap all that time?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to stay focused on me to get right for her.
Exactly.
So I'm really putting the rush on things because I don't have nothing for my daughter. So I'm really like, that sense of urgency has hit me.
But do you see how similar?
Yeah.
Your daughter's what?
6.
My daughter's 5. She'll be 5. You what?
41.
I'm 53.
Yeah.
So do you think that I don't relate to that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta leave something for my daughter too. You understand? Now here's what I'm telling you. I've figured out a reasonable way of how I'm gonna do that. So now that I know how I'm gonna do that, I'm relaxed. My biggest challenge now is to not get impatient. That'll drive you crazy. Your biggest challenge is to not get impatient. because you want it to happen. And you want it to happen so fast. You want it to happen now. You want to feel it because that's what's going to make you feel secure. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You gotta get to the point where you control that, because the things that you're doing, carpentry, and the barber, you have the means. So relax and then focus on how you're going to use those means. Focus.
I sit back, man, and I said to myself, dog, you gotta, for the last week and a half, I spent $70 a day. No. For the last week and a half, I spent $100 a day. Wasn't even counting lunch and all that other stuff.
Let me ask you something. Now this might don't take this the wrong way. Mm-hmm. But I gotta ask you this. Because I've done it. I've been doing this 25 years. You've been doing it close to 20 years, right? I know what I make. I don't know what you make, but I know your book, and I've seen your work, and I've seen your hustle, and you've produced, if not more clientele than me, the same, in a shorter period of time. Because you only been in Delaware, what?
10 years.
You only been in Delaware 10 years. All right, so out here 20. And you've met just as many or more people than I've met. So with that money coming in, I know as long as I'm in here and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I can count on that money. So somewhere, we got those similarities. We that close. We that similar. Somewhere, one of us is doing something different.
Me.
So
it's me. It's my stability.
So why are you not stable?
With the situation I'm in with this guy, I'm
not even now.
Well,
this is over 20. Yeah, because over 20-year period, all the stuff that you want to do, you could have been done.
Could have been done.
So, what was it? This is what the focus should be.
When I like this in 14, when I ain't gonna hold you, I'm not even gonna lie to you. 2014, after me and my daughter's mom broke up, man, I got drunk every day. Didn't know how to cope. Never been through anything like that. Didn't know how to cope. And bro, I got drunk every day. Monday through Sunday. And shit, man, that ripped away just about as many friends and close people around me than anything. Like, cause I really didn't know how to, I didn't know how to hide my feelings and emotions. I didn't know how to control them. Man, we could be sitting here talking, next thing you know, I'm starting to talk about her and crying. Or you know what I mean? Like I didn't know, I really didn't know how to control any of that. And I'm gonna say it damn near took me a year and about 15 friends to figure it out. A year and a half and about 15 friends to figure it out. To the point where niggas ain't wanna hang with me no more. They'll come get a cut and leave. And to the point where I blew a whole lot. I blew a business. I blew a whole lot.
Okay.
And was wasting money doing stupid shit trying to get her back. It's dumb stuff.
Okay.
So I put myself in a predicament. I put myself in a predicament that I'm still coming out of now.
Okay, now, that was, when did y'all break up?
2014.
So that was 2014. That was 3 years
3 years ago.
Prior to 2014, you had been cutting hair and you had these resources.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, prior to that, what were you doing that stopped you from getting in the position where you wanted to be in? Was it that you just weren't doing things, or did you just not know?
Yo,
What
I
was
was just too fucking comfortable. I didn't think about. I was too comfortable there. I didn't think about anything other than that day, and if I was going to work that next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my daughter's mom, she used to ask me, well, you know, you gonna always cut hair? I don't know. To the point where it started getting serious, like our arguments and all that started to get serious. And that's when I was like, well.
Did she want you to quit, stop cutting hair?
No, she never wanted me to stop cutting hair. She just didn't want me to just cut hair. Like, open up a shop.
Your own business.
Open up your own business.
Oh,
Powerful
got you.
barbers.
I got you.
Do this
Got
and do
you.
that.
She wanted you to advance.
She wanted me to advance, and I was too fucking comfortable. Baby, you eating? We alright? This paid? Cool.
Got you.
And that was a door I didn't walk through. That won't ever happen again.
Well, the wonderful thing about Barber is that, believe it or not, it affords you time. See, the one thing you did do, through all of that turmoil, whether you know it or not, and I'm pretty sure you do, what?
Kept cutting.
You kept cutting.
Yeah. I
You
didn't
stayed
lose.
with it.
Yeah.
You didn't lose your people. You didn't make a move that was so drastic that you would lose all your people. I even made the move in town, like you did.
That sucked.
Man, and I went down to $200-300 a week too.
I was at $100 a week.
Well, I didn't quite get that low.
I was doing the shape of a day.
But when I came by that one time, you was cutting hair. That one time I came in and I got you to cut my hair in there.
Yeah. And you came to the African shop.
Yeah, is that the shop you talking about?
Yeah.
And you know what was so? Why didn't you come after I came in there? Because you had already committed to them.
And you know what? Yeah.
I came in there to get you.
Yeah. And I came here first.
Because you came here first.
Yeah.
And he told you something that he wasn't supposed to tell you. He told you we didn't have no chairs. He was not supposed to tell you that. That was not his place or anybody else's place in this shop to say what I got. Because at that time, these stations were up. This was a woman's salon, but I hadn't decided whether I was going to bring women back in here or not. So I was right there by myself. If I had been here that day, there's your station right there.
And I would have put my stuff right there.
Right there that day. And I missed you. And I didn't have your phone number right away. I don't know what happened. But by the time I got a hold of you, they said he was over there. So I said, let me go over there. And I'm going to go over there and try to get it. And I didn't like going into nobody's establishment trying to pull people out because I feel like it's a respect thing. So I don't remember what I said to you, but I don't think I actually said, yo, come on back here. But I think I told you to call me. Mm-hmm. Or something like that. But anyway, even with that move, this is hard. This is a hard field to mess up. These people, your clients, they're hard to get rid of. Mm-hmm. Because I'm still cutting people from 1991. And I'm cutting their kids and their grandkids now.
Yeah.
So the only way you mess this up is if you stop.
Yeah.
So saying that, now is not the time to panic about what you don't have. Because as long as you got these and you got your help, you can do it.
You hear me say I just spent $100 a day
I know.
for the past week and a half?
Yeah, I heard you.
And that's not nothing good.
But, see, this comes down to another decision of yours that you're making. Because I gave you.
And you know what, though? It's just the fact that that's your baby girl's room.
I gave you another choice.
Okay, and I'm gonna take that.
You
but
keep
I gotta,
spending that $100 a day.
I'm not gonna do that again because my bank account is dropping. My bank account is dropping.
I
My
gave
bank account got like $100-some in it. And it may be today I went to go swipe my card to get something to eat. I said, hold it. I called him. Called the bank. Well, not called him. Check my shit. $83 in my checking, but I don't touch my savings. But $83 in my check is less than $100.
See, this is where it comes to the decisions. As hard as they may be and as much as you may not want to do it, you can't let certain things, if it's pride, now I'm not accusing you, you can't let pride be what keep you spending $100 a day when I gave you an alternative. You know what I mean? You use that. It's like you used to doing things your entire life on your own. You used to not counting on nobody else. You used
I never had nobody to count on.
Exactly. So you've had to depend on yourself. So that makes it kind of harder for you to accept help.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
You ain't the only one that said that to me.
That's the truth. That's the truth, because when I look at like the decisions, they don't make sense to me until I think about that, and I think about your history, and I think about how you are. Then they begin to make sense to me. But at the same time, that still don't mean that you're making the right decision. Yeah. That just means I understand why you're not making the right decision. Now what you need to do is to get rid of that problem, take the alternative, and build from there. The next move you make sure the next move you make is a stable, sustainable move. No more flying off the handle. I'm gonna go do this with that person. I'm gonna go do this with that. No more. Stable. I'm gonna go do this with myself because this is what I can sustain. This is what I know I can sustain today, a year from now, or 2 years from now, however. I can sustain that because I got these two hands, I got my physical ability, I got my barber chair, and I got whatever else I want to do on the side. And I don't have to count on nobody else. Those are the kind of decisions that make all the difference in your life. Now, when you're talking about building and having something for your daughter, you'll never do that if you don't start making these kind of decisions. No. I thought, yeah, one of my partners, business partners. I thought it was my boy. I just got to doing it.
I'm about to get on this bus. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.